Hello everyone, it's Glenda and welcome back to my channel Creative Grandma. I hope everyone is having a happy crochet day. I'm really excited about this video because I am starting a new series that I hope you're really going to enjoy. So I'm going to save that for just a few minutes later, but I have just two happy mails here. I want to open them up. I want to show you a project I'm working on. Then I'm going to tell you about my new series, and this video is going to be episode number 1 of my new series. So stay tuned. I'm excited to bring this new series to you, and I'm excited to tell you about it and then show you what the series is all about. But first, let's open my happy mail. So I received a happy mail from Shell Crochet. So wonderful channel. I got on there, I checked out her channel. Just a great personality, fun videos, and I really think you'd enjoy her channel. So I'll put a link to her YouTube channel, and if you want to check her out, make sure when you click that link and you go to her website that you tell her Creative Grandma sent you. So let me open up her package. And let's see what's inside. So I'm looking, and it looks like she sent me a scrunchie, and if you notice, my hair is really getting long because I really don't get out much because of the virus, and I'm just now getting my vaccine. I had my first one, I need to go get my second one, and then I need to do something with this hair. But thank you so much. I really do use a lot of scrunchies around the house, and I'm always pulling my hair back when I'm cleaning and in the house to get it out of my face. So thank you so much. It says, Glenda, sending healing wishes for a speedy recovery. Thank you for all you do for the wonderful crochet community. Be well. Today is a good day for a good day, aka Shell Crochet. So thank you so much, Shell. And everyone, please make sure you jump over and subscribe to her channel and see what she has to offer. So maybe I'll put this scrunchie in my hair right now and use it to get this off my face and out of the way. So there, you can see it works perfectly. So thank you. So now you can see my half a sunburn here. My husband decided to take the car out, put the top down. It was beautiful, sunny, 80-degree day. I've been in the house all winter, and it just burnt me to a crisp. Not sure why it only burnt me on the one side, but that's what it did. So then my next happy mail is from Kathleen King. Beautiful wrapping, absolutely love it. So let's take a peek in here. It's always so exciting to get happy mail. And it looks like she sent me some yarn. I'm just going to cut this tape right here. And let's see what she says. It says, hi Glenda, what wonderful thing would you make with yarn like this? Also, I hope you will consider doing a tutorial on the design I have enclosed. Thank you, Kathleen King. So let me open this up. I want to see what pattern she's showing me. Beautiful pattern. It's called the My Peacock Stitch. So I'm just going to hold it up to the camera. She gave me the diagram, which is nice. Now it's a black and white photo. I'm going to get it right up there so you can see that stitch. So wonderful stitch. So first, Kathleen, if you watch this video, I'm going to have to learn how to do the stitch before I can do the tutorial, because there's a lot of stitches that Creative Grandma doesn't know how to do. I have to learn them before I do the video, but I'll definitely look this over and see if I can get a stitch tutorial out. This is a gorgeous stitch. This is really, really pretty. So let me just hold that up there again. Isn't that a pretty stitch? Now let's take a look at the yarn she sent me. I just love yarn. I like playing around with new yarns. I like seeing yarns I've never used before. Oh, this is something I'm not familiar with. So let me see. Oh, it's so soft. Ooh. And it's so pretty. I love the peach and the blue together. So let me just read a little bit about it. It says product willow. I'm not sure if is this a willow yarn. I'm not familiar with this yarn. It says KC Knit Crochet Product Willow, fiber content 100% acrylic. Really, really soft for an acrylic. It's 128 yards, 1.76 ounces, 117 meters, 50 grams. It is made in Turkey, and it recommends a size I9 or 5.5 crochet hook. And it is classified as a 4 worsted weight, medium weight yarn. It has real thin and then it goes to thick, so very unusual. I'm really not sure what I would make with this. I think that because of the texture, I'm thinking maybe a wrap, a shawl, a scarf, something that would just have a really nice, unique textured look to it. But look at those colors. I don't think I've seen a color name. Now, I'm not sure if there's a color name on here. Oh, this is color blue, and I'm sure this is color peach. Let me see if I can get down in there and see the color. This is coral. So look at those two colors together. I can't wait to play around with this yarn. Now, I'm not really sure what I would make. I haven't used a yarn like this in probably a very long time. So it's very unique, and I think it needs a unique project for the yarn. So I can't wait to figure out what to make with it. And maybe I'll just learn how to do this stitch and use this yarn using this stitch pattern and make something very beautiful. So thank you so much, Kathleen, for this beautiful yarn, and I can't wait to try it. So thank you again. Now, the next thing I want to show you is an Afghan that I showed you before that I've been working on just for myself. Lion Brand come out with that new ice cream roving yarn, and I wanted to make a wider Afghan just for me, so when I'm cold, and in the winter I am always cold and I like to be warm, so I like those heavy, chunkier Afghans. Now, since summer's coming, this will probably have to go in the closet when it's done until cold weather comes again. But at least I know when cold weather comes, I'm going to have a blanket just for me that's beautiful, it's cozy, it's warm. I'm just going to push my chair back. I'm going to stand up. It's quite wide. And this was made out of that Lion Brand ice cream roving. So I finally got it to the length. I'm working on the tutorial now, and I just have to put the border on. So I am hoping to get this video to you by this weekend. So absolutely loved working with that yarn. Now, the one thing about the yarn for that Afghan is that it has the thin and then it has thicker sections. But I only found really one skein of yarn that went to the extreme. But happy with it. Just wanted to show you that I didn't forget. I'm still working on it. So with the surgery, it just really put me behind. So now I'm really trying to pick up the pace and get these designs done that I showed you previously. And that tutorial, like I said, I will try to have that done by this weekend. So now I want to tell you about the new series that I'm going to start doing. And this is episode number 1. What I'm going to start doing is doing videos called yarn swatches based on different yarn companies, different yarns. I'm going to purchase the different colorways in a particular yarn, crochet up samples, and then show you the samples of all the different colorways of the yarn I purchased. So what I want to do is strictly stick with a certain brand and a certain yarn for each episode. So this episode, I decided to start by going on a shopping trip at Walmart. Now, Walmart is usually in just about every town across at least the USA, and I thought, this way I know that the yarns I found in my Walmart hopefully are going to be the same yarns that you can find in Walmart. So I decided to start with Red Heart Ombres and Variegated yarns. So the one thing I've always wondered is sometimes when you get on the yarn websites, you know, you want to order yarn and you see these beautiful multicolors, and then they only show you maybe a small circle. And then they're showing you like the end of the skein where you're seeing the different colors at the end of the skein, but it really doesn't tell you how that yarn is crocheted up. Now sometimes you're lucky enough to maybe see some finished projects that are crocheted in that yarn on the websites where they show pictures, or sometimes you might get lucky enough and see a knitted version, which does give you a kind of an idea of what it's going to look like crocheted. So again, this is my first episode. So first, what I'm going to do is show you each skein of yarn that I bought at Walmart. And then as I show you the skein of yarn, I'm going to show you that yarn worked up into a yarn swatch. This way, I think it's a fun way for you to really see these yarns worked up. And every time I do an episode, I'll be choosing a different yarn and different colorways. I just thought it would be a great fun series to do, and we can have a lot of fun really seeing if we like these colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my table. I'm going to take the skeins out and show you the swatches under my light. That way you can see everything up close, really see the stitch definition and see the colors as they're working up. Instead of just trying to hold it in front of the camera, I really want you to be able to see up close what the samples look like, what the yarn looks like. So let's go over to the table and let's start the yarn swatch series, episode number 1. So let's get started with our first color. Again, this video I'm showing yarn swatches using Red Heart Super Saver Ombres and Variegated yarns. This is the Super Saver jumbo size. Now I noticed that Walmart carries a little more of the larger sizes than the smaller sizes. So they're carrying the jumbo skein, which is a 10 ounce, 283 gram, 482 yards, 440 meters. Now it is classified as a 4 medium weight yarn. It's 100% acrylic. It's machine wash and dryable, which is absolutely wonderful. Now it does have the standard 100 label, which means this has been tested against harmful substances. So very nice that that has been tested. Now this yarn was made in the USA of imported fibers. So beautiful yarn. Red Heart is considered a workhorse in acrylic yarn. Now most people think Red Heart has a little bit of a rough feel to it, but if you use fabric softener on your finished items, it really softens the yarn up. But I have used Red Heart for over 40 some years, and I have Afghans that are over 40 years old that still look brand new. This is just a very durable yarn. And like I said, most people are familiar with Red Heart yarn because it has been around for a while. So let's get started. This is the color Black Light. It's article number E302C. It's color number 3939. So this is what it looks like. You're going to see oranges and lime green and that bright, almost like a turquoise blue, hot pink. So let me grab the sample and let's see what the sample looks like. So this is what the yarn looks like. And when you crochet it up, it has the same bright colors. Now my sample is worked in 2 different stitches. The lower half I did in single crochet, and you can see how the color changes when you go to the higher double crochet stitches. But it does give you an idea of how that works up. Now when you look at the bottom, to compare the 2 different stitches, the bottom you can see my colors are longer going across the row, the stitches are shorter, so it creates a longer length to your stitch colors going across your work. When you switch to a double crochet stitch, your stitch is higher and you're getting a shorter color burst of those stitches. Now I only use single and double crochet in my sample, and you have to remember when you're looking at the samples, the color design can change based on the stitch pattern you're using. Say for instance you're doing a fan pattern of a shell stitch that might have 5 or 7 shells across, you're going to get a totally different look, but it still gives you an idea of what those colors look like. Now, if you're working on a longer project, you also have to remember the color sequence can change based on how long you're making your project and how those colors repeat going back and forth across a wider area. But it just gives you an idea of what that color looks like. So again, when you look at the yarn, that's the black light and that's the swatch. So let's move on to the second color I chose. Now this again is a Red Heart Super Saver Jumbo, so all the information will be the same about the yardage and all the information. And this is color Mirage. This is color number 0301. You're seeing beautiful blues and really light tan, and then just a little bit darker tan. Very, very pretty. So here is my sample that I made using the Mirage yarn. And again, the bottom half is single crochet and then the top half is double crochet. So when I look at the difference in the swatches, again, I'm noticing the bottom almost looks like it's going diagonal. It almost looks like I can see a pattern going diagonal. Now this is a chain of 30, so it really depends on how wide your project is, if it keeps that diagonal pattern or if it's going to change. And then when I change to a double crochet, it almost looks like it's crocheting up in columns. And again, it all depends on the stitch pattern you're using. If you're using fans, it may change the look going across. If you're using in front post double crochets where you're coming down into those stitches, so many different looks. But the whole purpose of this video is just to give you an idea of how it really looks when you're starting to crochet it up. So that is the second sample. The next skein of yarn I purchased at Walmart was again a Super Saver Jumbo skein. This was a larger size, so all the information is the same. And this is color Wildflower. This is color number 3955. Beautiful blue, and then you have light blue, and then you're getting like a dark mint green, and then you're getting a lime green. I see some purples in there, so wildflowers. So now for the sample made using the wildflower, and I'm seeing a pattern here with the same kind of look where when you're single crocheting, your stitches are shorter, your color bursts are longer. When you switch to the double crochet, your stitches are higher and your color bursts are shorter. Now this almost looks like it's trying to go in a diagonal pattern. So again, it all depends on how wide your project is, of how your pattern's really going to look. But this gives you an idea of how those colors look when you single and double crochet this yarn. So let's move on to the next color. Now this next skein is also the Super Saver Jumbo, and these are Ombres Variegated yarns, and this is the camouflage. This is color number 0971. All the information regarding the yarn is the same as the other skeins because it's the jumbo size with the 10 ounces. But you can see this beautiful camouflage colors with those different shades of green and brown. And then here's the sample with it worked up. Again, single and double crochets are used in my sample. The bottom half is single crocheted, and then the top half is double crocheted. So again, same look with these variegated and ombre yarns is you're getting the longer color burst at the bottom doing the single crochet, and the top you're getting shorter color bursts because your stitches are higher. So let's move on to the next color. This next one is also a Super Saver Jumbo in the 10 ounce, so all the information is the same. This is really bright, bold colors of pinks and blues and just an ever slight color of lavender in there. So let's turn it over. This is called Bonbon. This is color number 0784. So let me lay that there, grab my sample. Now on this sample, I really like this because it seemed like when you did the single crochet, the colors were like more all over the place and mixed together, where some of those you could see the longer color burst running across, and this kind of like had I don't want to say speckled, but more of really mixed together all over the place. So kind of like the single crochet version of it. And then when you look at the double crochet, again, you can see how those taller stitches really have really short burst. So for this one, I'm saying I like the single crocheted version better than the double crocheted version, but it's all in what you're going to make and what stitch pattern you're using. So that was the Bonbon colored yarn. Again, there's the skein of yarn, and that's what it looks like worked up. So the next one I have, again, this is a Super Saver Jumbo, the 10-ounce skein. I was really surprised at the selection that Walmart had on the Red Heart Super Saver Variegated ombre style yarns. Just a wonderful selection, I thought. A lot of colors to suit just about anybody's crocheter needs. And this color here is called Starburst Print. So beautiful rainbow of colors. I'm going to say greens, different shades of greens, different shades of purple, almost like an orange pink, blue, lime green, another green. So just an assortment of colors. And I have to say, there's been so many cake yarns produced in the last year or two. I thought, I need something different. And I kind of miss the variegated and ombres. You're not seeing too many yarn companies bringing these out. I think Red Heart has one of the best selections of ombres and variegateds that I've seen. And I thought, we need to take a step back and look at some of these yarns that we really enjoy using in the past and start using them again. And many of you already use these variegated. So this one is the Starburst Print. This is color number 9525. So let me grab my sample. So here is my sample, and this is one that I really fell in love with the look too, because it really had short color burst. It was almost like you got one stitch of each color as you went across. It didn't have longer color bursts. It was very short. So I'm not sure why I like the really short color bursts better, but I do. I mean, that's just my preference. Everybody has their own preference, but you can see how that works up. Single crochet on the bottom, double crochet on the top. So that is what that sample looks like. The next one I found at Walmart was the smaller skein of the Red Heart Super Saver, and this was the 5-ounce, 141 gram, 236 yards, 215 meters, and this was the mistletoe. This was color number 0979. So if you're someone who likes to get started really early on your holiday projects, this is what the sample looks like worked up. So this sample really surprised me how this worked up. You know, it was just fascinating how you can look at a skein of yarn, and I just showed you many multi-ombre colored yarns, and I did not see this effect, or maybe this effect is showing up more predominant because it's a 3-color change. And I seen that it just created, I want to say blotches, where you see the red with the green and you see the white, and then like the green with the red being predominant. I wasn't sure how I felt about this. I thought, you know, maybe if I made a longer project, I would like it. The pattern might change. But this one, I think I like the double crochet pattern more than I like the single crochet pattern. But this is the fun of showing you the swatches, because everybody's opinion may be different. Now remember, the samples I'm showing you, half is single crochet, the top half is double crochet, and it's just to show you how doing a simple stitch change can change the look of how your yarn's going to look when you're crocheting that pattern. So again, that was the mistletoe, and that is the sample. So the last 2 yarns I'm going to show you are really pulling yarns. But when I was looking at the yarn on the shelf, I was just pulling it off the shelf, throwing it in my cart, and I really wasn't reading the label. I was looking at the yarn and I thought, ombre, variegated, put it in my cart, and the label says pulling. But even though it's a pulling yarn, I use these as a ombre or variegated yarn. So they do have beautiful projects that you can make in the pulling pattern. So this color is Berry Pulling. This is color number 8751. Now the sample I have to show you on this one, I did 3 different stitch patterns. So what I did was this section here is single crochet. So you can see how it looks in the single crochet. And then I come up and I was doing the moss stitch of a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet. So I did a couple rows of that, and you can see again how that pattern is changing with the moss stitch. And then above the moss stitch, I did the double crochet. So this sample, you're actually seeing 3 different stitch versions and how that color changes when you're working this yarn up. And again, it just shows you it all depends on which stitch pattern you're doing of how your stitches and the colors are going to look on your project. The last yarn I have to show you again is a pulling yarn. This is the 5 ounce, 141 gram, 236 yards, 215 meters. They have a beautiful pulling project on the label. And this color is Papaya Pulling. And this is color number 8536. So let me lay that there and show you the sample. So again, when you're looking at my sample, the bottom half is single crocheted and then the top half is double crocheted. Kind of has the same look as some of those other ones I showed you where the color bursts are longer going across the row doing single crochet. You get shorter color burst when you're using those higher stitches. So again, that is my single crochet, double crochet yarn swatch. So that was my first episode of the yarn swatch video. Please let me know in the comments section if you like this video and you like seeing those finished yarn swatch samples so you can get an idea of what some of these yarns look like out there. I'm excited to do this series and I can't wait to bring the next episode out to you. So thank you everybody. I hope this video has got you inspired to try some of those variegated yarns, and you can find the yarns that I showed in this video at your local Walmart. So thank you everybody, and until next time, stay inspired and happy crocheting.